Okay.
We are masterminding here with the laws of success in 16 lessons. So we got Anthony and Andre with us tonight, and we are going over the contents or the introduction, the mastermind. We talked a little bit about the mastermind last week. We showed everybody what a mastermind was. Oh, it's my other board. You can see I left it up for everybody.
Yep.
Cool.
So forming the Mastermind Alliance, maintaining our alliance, forming an alliance with ourselves, and cultivating alliances wherever we can. It's important. I mean, I'll talk about just general stuff like cultivating alliances wherever you can. I was asked by my financier to find a local guy who did what I wanted to do because he wanted to see proof of concept. So I found a local guy and I developed a relationship with him. Had I not developed a relationship with him, these 25 accounts would have never dropped in my lap.
That's true.
So cultivate alliances wherever you can, particularly when it has to do with your definite chief aim. Now, as a competitor, we wouldn't see that he would be somebody that I would want to mastermind with, but it turned out that he was, and it turned out good. So that was one thing that I thought I wanted to share.
Yeah, the funny part is that your financier didn't even believe that he was your friend.
Yeah.
So it really, watching how the whole thing played out was pretty cool.
Oh, you mean with Rick?
Well, just with everything. I mean, how I've watched you put the effort over this time, and it's you said it like kind of fell in your lap, but it didn't, because you've been putting effort forward, day after day, week after week for months on end.
Yeah, so true. As have you.
Yeah, I mean, together we've been both driving each other forward. I've been motivated while helping you. So it's been a combination of the mastermind effect.
Yeah, it's been a really great experience. It really has, to be able to see the power of a mastermind. When I think that Anthony knows that I'm pretty selfless, and it might be a far cry from who I used to be, but today I'm pretty selfless. And
yeah, I would definitely agree.
Thank you. And it takes the harmony of being selfless to be able to have really, really good harmony, I think. When you got people that have an inkling of greed, then it turns out to be a problem at that point. You can't really mastermind so well, that is. Have you ever experienced that, Andre?
Well, the word selfless, you have to explain me a bit. I think I experienced many things, but the meaning of selfless is to be alone, something like that.
Oh, selfless is giving. I'm very giving.
Yeah, I know what it is to be giving, to be. Yeah, I'll always be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
but I don't think people gonna do the same I do. I don't think about that. I don't think about that. That's a way to be. That's a way. It's a human nature thing. You got it or you don't got it. But you have to take care to the people who take too much.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because many people, they don't know the fuck to stop, to stop. You
That's
give,
true.
after that, give you away and that's it. So it's for that in that mastermind, I don't saw that. I don't feel that. It's very important to understand that, because when you start to try to do something good, if you don't take care, you're gonna find some shark around you, and they take many things, and they don't give back at the good place and correctly they keep. So we have to take care to keep her. That's the way it is.
Just like that.
Yep.
Yeah, the actual definition of selfless is concerned more with the needs and wishes of others than with one's own. So it's
Well,
basically unselfish.
yeah. Well,
And then, in the first introduction, Mastermind, it says the most successful men and women on earth have had to correct certain weak spots in their personalities before they began to succeed. The most outstanding of these weaknesses, which stand between men and women and success, are intolerance, cupidity, greed, jealousy, suspicion, revenge, egotism, conceit, the tendency to reap where you have not sown, and the habit of spending more than they earn.
yeah, that's true. And I see a lot of that people, but sometimes you attract that kind of people around you without knowing it. You know, soft talking people, you have to take care. For that, I like this mastermind, because after a while, after a time, you know what are gonna happen with the people you make business with. Your first business partner are always your mastermind, but your first one is you. It's you, and the experience you got in life. And if you don't take care, sometimes when people receive an emotional shock or something very bad is around them, they act strangely, and you see the maturity of a mind when the people start to struggle, and they are in deep shit, not necessarily by their fault, but they take the shot and they pass over it. And that's is the place you split between children and men. You know what I mean? That's the place you grow a man or you stay a children. And sometimes, well, sometimes it's something else. You got some deception.
There's always that to look out for.
Yeah. So that the aliens have to be tough. You have to test your people without they knowing it. And it's very simple. So just a phrase and you know it. But sometimes, well, the deception come and you have to, that's the price to pay to know. You know what I mean? Like I said many times, when the big bucks come, the big money come, people sometimes they cannot handle it well, and they forget. Yeah,
That's true. I had that happen to me before.
by the way, me too, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I see it a lot at my old job when I was working for the business jet corporation here in Canada. People start to get private jet, they act strange, very strangely. And they forget many things about the human species. They go on a level, but I see a lot of rich people who are so good. I want to be like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that you have to give to receive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's always like that.
In my religion class, we have a discipleship project, and my project is going to be on faithful service. So I'll automatically be giving more than I receive for school already. So it'll be a good experience to do that. And I'm looking forward to the law of increasing return working on my behalf.
That's true. And,
to be quite frank with you.
yeah, and this thing is working, and you don't know where it comes from, because when you start to giving correctly without waiting for something back, that's the key of the success for me, because sometimes somebody gonna show up. You don't know when, you don't know how, and if you are always prepared to continue your chief aim, somebody gonna show up, and you're gonna realize your chief aim. It's a correct mental attitude to have, to be positive and give more than you receive. And it's like the talent God gave us, and you have to grow it. Everybody got a talent. That's it. That's the power of the mastermind.
Yeah, well, the mastermind employs ethereal principles that we have heard about. We've heard about telepathy. We've seen radio waves, or not radio waves, but we've seen the radio work. We've heard the radio work, should I say. And it's employed on the radio waves. So we understand energy, or we've been taught that energy is always alive, always moving. So we've got the core principles working in our behalf when we have a mastermind. And these principles are eternal laws, is what I would say. They're absolute. And nobody knows for sure the power of a mastermind or what it can bring. Who knows if I just had 25 accounts drop in my lap?
That's it. That's it, man. But, sometimes people just go on Facebook or on Zoom, and they look at us. These guys are sincere. Oh, it's always in the way you talk and the way you react.
Yeah.
So, what you put up there have to come down.
I'm leaning in like I need to hear you better. I got
my
earplugs in.
Okay. I have to talk higher. I'm too smooth.
That's the tongue.
Well, when you go with the heater, what you put in the heater, because that's a plan, like they talk in the mastermind. When you go on the plan of the heater, that's the place you put your stuff, your good stuff, and they gotta come back. In which time, I don't know, but did this thing work? But in the material world, is something else. To be concrete is very. You have to believe when you start something. It's very. It's a hack of God, I think, creation. So when you start to create something, it have to come to your soul and mind, and you take the time to make it. And it's not an order, it's a command. So it's not the same. So you have to take care of the way you think when you start to do something. Thank you, mon ami.
Yeah, I agree. You do got to take care of the way you think. When you're in a mastermind and you don't preserve the harmony, then you lose out. And a lot of that is in the way you think. So if you've got selfish motives, they're easily uncovered by wise people. And if you're in the midst of wise people, you just better be true, because they can see right through it. And putting out that ulterior motives or nefarious means, just brings bad stuff back to you. And it's hard. It's hard. It's tempting sometimes. And you can call it commandment from God, or you can call it just choosing the right, you know. You can call it whatever you want, but it's good karma either way, depending on how you play your cards.
That's true. That's very true, my friend, because a bad karma, I believe in that, and you don't take care, something's gonna show up. Mr. Anthony.
Yeah, I turned a page in my book and it brought me up.
Yep.
It brought you up.
Yeah. Because the microphone. But I like your guys' thoughts on this, because when you do put the things out there, you know, in the ether, and you don't do it with the immediate expectation, then, you know, and not even necessarily an expectation for yourself, just an expectation of helping people, you know, the whole thought of being selfless. I think that the biggest thing is that when you're doing that, a lot of people have been talking about this publicly lately, and when you do that, you can't expect anything. And if you do, then you create bitterness. And I think that's probably the biggest mistake that people make, is that they think, oh, the secret is to be selfless, and they give in order to get. But no, that's not the secret. Not quite like that.
It is not. It is really not.
So you really just have to give without expectation and hope that it helps the people. And, you know, if you get the gratitude back, then that's awesome. And sometimes you're not going to.
That's it.
So you just have to, you know, hope that the people or someone is affected in a positive way, even if you don't experience the gratitude. And that's really something that I've been working on with my own self. I've given a lot in the past, and sometimes I did too much, and too much of the wrong stuff, just because I didn't say no, and next thing I know, I'm, you know, cleaning the garbage up and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
it just gets out of hand. So you've got to be conscious of how much you can give of yourself, and, you know, do it for the right reasons.
Well, what the stuff that kind of giving is the illusion. You think you're gonna help people. You know, people help it themselves. You're just, for my part, I think you're just there to help them to be good actor in their life and in the life around them. You know what I mean? That's what I learned for the experience of giving. You know, because it's always an illusion to think you're a good person. You know I'm a good person,
Right?
yeah, but sometimes I'm not. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
that's
we're all human.
that's it. That's the human nature, and the principle of the mastermind is to understand people. One day maybe they're not good. They're not good with you. They're not good in your business. They're not good in their family. But sometimes it's just one day. It's not always at the same time, you know. And the defect of the character everybody got is something he miss. It's not something he had. You know what I mean? No, nobody I think, was born greedy or a thief. You have to learn it somewhere. After that, you take a decision if this thing is good for you or not. So that's for that the mastermind. You're gonna attract people who are really or on the same vibration. You know, somebody lives something, or somebody is searching an answer. Somebody have to be in a mastermind because he don't want to feel alone, or he is alone, or he don't know for which part he have to start his business. We got a personal problem, something like that. All that stuff in the same time. So you go on a mastermind and you shut up and you listen and you said, okay, this thing gonna put me on that level. And you have to understand, you have to work on yourself first. And that's what I understand when I started 3 years ago. You have always to work on yourself. That's the only way to change, to have a good mastermind. People have to connect and live in harmony with what's happened in their life and the life of the people in the mastermind. So sometimes people go around and they come on, they come back.
Yeah, Hugo will be back.
Anyway, I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah, I like this quote in the book. It says, "No man has a chance to enjoy permanent success until he begins to look in a mirror for the real cause of all his mistakes."
Well, it's always starting by me. If I got a problem, if I don't think correctly, it's always my fault. If I don't, for that I always succeed in everything I do.
Yeah, I think it's a accountability issue, you know, taking responsibility for yourself. There's a time in my life when I hadn't taken full responsibility for me or my actions, the person I was or who I was becoming, and that principle rings true to me, that all of the problems that were in my life were as a result of my actions. And once I understood that, once I really understood it, I turned it around and I started to do positive actions. I started to do positive steps. So I've got a story of transformation that comes with Matt, and perhaps Anthony knows a little bit of it, but it's been a process to come full circle. It's been a process to be able to have the ability to speak intelligently about this.
For sure. You know what is very painful in life transform you. If you go out of the pain, if you don't stay on the why, on the why this thing arrived to me, and you start to correct by positive action all the negativity around you, and you have to change your circle of friends. Sometimes you have to go very far, your family, or sometimes you have to change many things, you know. But everybody got a path. I think, like I said many times, God always trace a straight line in very curvy life. So you have to look at that very carefully.
Yeah.
Many people got a lot of struggle. They shut up and they pass over it, and they take 5, sometimes 10 years of their life to change their mind, to cut bad habit and a lot of things, especially in the world we live now. You know, to be you got a straight mind with a funny perspective. You are very lucky to get that. If you got that, me, I work hard to keep it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. Once you lose people's respect, it's hard to get it back.
You're done. Your history, but you have to choose the people around you. You know, show me 5 of your friends, and I'm gonna tell you who you are. Huh?
Yeah.
It's always
Right.
like that. Always like that.
So true.
It's always like that. It's always be. So if you go on a mastermind, you have to choose your people correctly, and you have to go with them for a long time if you want to succeed. Oh, it's rose.
Yeah, Napoleon Hill does talk about, what's that?
It's okay. Go for it. Sorry.
Oh, did I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
No. I'm finished. It's okay.
I was having a conversation there. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Well, Napoleon Hill said,
I can't remember. I feel bad. I feel so bad for interrupting that I can't remember.
no, you don't interrupt me. I was finished, but your account frozen. It's just that. Go for it, my man.
So I wanted to read a line out of the book. For the purpose of merging the individual minds into a mastermind, which will, for a limited number of days, serve as a stimulus to the individual minds. The mastermind also can be used for very elementary purposes to stimulate your mind or my mind. I know oftentimes when I go up to Anthony to meet with him, it's like getting a recharge, and he stimulates my mind, you know? So that's another power of a mastermind that I didn't really identify with until tonight, until I was actually able to read it. So I don't know if you guys ever had any experiences with that or not.
Yeah, definitely. I experienced that. I mean, that's a big part of the reason, Andre said, show me the 5 people closest to you. Well, the only people I've really spent time with are you guys and my wife. So since I started this, so, look at yourselves, and that's me, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But there's this part that says, seek the counsel of men who will tell you the truth about yourself, even if it hurts you to hear it. Admire the commendation while not being the improvement you need. So, I mean, the big thing is that listening to this stuff, even though sometimes it might not be said directly at me, hearing it from you guys and hearing it from your mouth, it helps drive it home in a different way. So rather than just reading it yourself, I'm also hearing it from people that I look up to, and are part. We're a mastermind. So when I get that, it really takes it a step deeper than just on my own, because it's that accountability thing. Because it's like, oh, I heard Matt say that, or I heard Hugo or Andre say that, even though they may have just been reading from a book. It just means more to me, I think.
Yeah, it's said with our own inflections, it's brought home by our, the way we speak. It's brought home that way, and over and over and over again. But you got somebody that masterminds and the point home. The so marked is the effect of the chemistry of the human mind that any experienced public speaker may quickly interpret the manner in which his statements are accepted by his audience. I want so bad, and I know Hugo wants so bad, to get to the level to where we can speak and know in our audience whether or not our statements are accepted as true. I oftentimes look for reassurance in my statements to see if there's acceptance that they're true. Even though they make sense to me, I'm always looking for that reassurance. But I'm bringing up a point here. I'm not sure what it is, but so marked is the effect of the chemistry of the human mind that any experienced public speaker may quickly interpret the manner in which his statements are accepted by his audience. So I think it's just evidence, I think is my point, that it's just evidence that you really can't hide from your true self. If the public speaker can pick up on cues and know whether or not his audience is accepting, then that's just proof of telepathy. When I say cues, they can be in the form of a nod. A nod is telepathy. In some senses, you're getting the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying nothing, but I'm nodding my head. I'm getting you to nod.
Yeah. Public speaking is something. I do a lot of conference. I do it freely for an association. And when you are on, if you know your stuff, it's okay. But if you live your stuff, and the people in the place live or pass over many things in the same time, you're gonna connect with your people, But what is very tough when you are public speaking is when you start to look at the eyes of people and you see they are following you. And when the soul start to connect with all the soul in the place, if you are a good seller, you're gonna sell what you have to sell. It's very simple. And I think it's a hack of God when you got that privilege to connect with the soul of people by the mind. And you have to be very honest, very truly honest with you, and very honest with your audience. So when you visit hell and you go out of hell and you start to talk about the sky, it is because you visit hell first, so you appreciate more the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the struggle of life. When in your course, I look at it a little bit. I'm very busy now. You have to experiment your struggle, put that in word and emotion, and sell it to your audience. That's the power of the mastermind. You sell it to your audience, and they connect with you because you pass many things they pass. And people don't like to talk about that. But when they see a guy talking about their life and their experience, if you got something to sell in the same time and the product is good, they're gonna fucking buy it. That's sure. I'm sure of that. I'm bloody sure of that. Yep. So it's for that. I look at Anthony Robbins' video, and this kid, it's a kid. He struggled a lot when he was young. And he was overweight and thing and that and blah, blah, blah. And he read the book of Napoleon Hill and all that gang. And he start to do what he have to do step by step. Like we do, step by step. You don't broke your neck. You arrive at something. You got a result. Me, I'm very lucky. I got a pension. I make 32 years working at the same place, but I learned a lot in my place where I was working there. You know what I mean? I don't got the entrepreneurial fiber in me. I have to go work because I got a big pension to pay. I got four kids. So you have to do what you have to do, and you have to learn what you have to learn in the time you got. So we are very privileged, and I am one, to be on that mastermind and take the time. It's not a hobby for me to come to this mastermind. I take my time, and my time is very valuable. Your time too, Matt and Anthony and Hugo. So it's the same. People want result, but what you have to sell? What you have to sell? It's always that you need want to sell something to people you're gonna talk to. Huh? Simple like that. What do you have to sell? Just a power, blah blah blah. No fucking way. You know, you have to. You need a product, and your first product is you. Is the way you talk. That's the power of the mastermind. It's always like that. Be honest with you. Don't change nothing. Just go for it, and that's it. And tell the truth. Tell the story. I was this, I was that, and blah blah blah. You know, the social heredity, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's life, see. That's life. That's life. But if you correct your stuff, you are a success. If you take the time to correct your mind and the bad habit you got, you are a goddamn success straight away. So that is piece of cake. To do something if you got the time or the will, or if you got the calling. If you got the calling to do something, you're goddamn done. Your history. You have to do it. You know, when God touched you with your finger and he said, "Hey, Matt, hey, Matt, you have to be a public speaker and you have to do this and that and help people around you," you're done. You have to do it. And that's fun. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. Those are really good thoughts. I mean, especially, you're talking about the whole selling stuff and, having that whole story, and after watching the whole, training program. I mean, I haven't been through all of it completely, but I know what you're talking about, and I know about the steps and things like that. So, I mean, right here, it says, an aim in life is the only fortune worth finding, and it is not to be found in foreign lands, but in the heart itself. That's Robert Louis Stevenson. And I mean, that's really where the biggest fortune I've found. And, that's been the big thing, is I've really survived on selling myself, I guess. That's been the biggest thing I have sold. The one-on-one personal service. So it's constantly about refining. I mean, I'm 31, so I've only got so much of adult experience and knowledge of refining my craft. If someone has twice the time of me, they, have more experiences. But part of that course is also about compressing decades into days by learning from people that have experienced more. And that's really the biggest power of the mastermind. So I appreciate you guys. I definitely, I mean, listening to your guys' experiences is the biggest part of this, that it helps understand the content that Napoleon Hill is supposed to share by seeing everyone's individual perspective.
Yeah, and imagine if Napoleon Hill would have had the power of Zoom back in 1945. Right. What he could have done with that, he would have been up there like Hugo is, trying to be Facebook king. He sent us a message. Sorry, boss, I did not know what to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well, he's missing out. You're on mute, Andre. I see you laughing.
Yeah, I said that. Don't excuse yourself. You go and see. You take the poll, and that's how. Yeah. You have to go by what you have to do. Yeah. I love Hugo. He's a nice man. We're all nice in that mastermind. But we're gonna succeed. We have to succeed in many ways. But Matt, I'm very proud of you. Anything happen? So that's it. Go to the top.
Yeah,
That's it.
go to the top, brother.
That's it. It's the same for Anthony.
I just told Hugo, sorry I missed the Hugo show.
Well, he gonna do good this Hugo, I think. He gonna do good. He gonna have people follow her, and he gonna be okay. He gonna join us. Yeah, it's tough to do what he do in the way he is. You know, he's not a quitter. This guy is not a quitter. He never be. So, yeah, gonna make good. Power of the mastermind.
There we go.
Yeah.
I just gave him another link.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's coming on now. He'll be right on. I'll be right back.
Cultivate the alliance. Form an alliance with yourself. Maintain your forming mastermind alliance. Anthony, you like that?
What specifically?
An alliance?
Do I like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the biggest alliance you know?
The biggest alliance that I know?
Yeah. Star Wars, man. Star Wars.
Oh,
That's
I
the
haven't watched
biggest.
Star Wars much.
No,
I have seen parts, but I honestly haven't
no,
watched it all the way.
That's a big alliance, my man. But alliance, it's a big word. It's a big word. You know, people like to broke alliance when the money comes. So you have to take care. So we go is coming or not.
I don't know. I'm trying to talk to him.
The master of the web. You're very good live, huh, to be recorded like that.
What was that about
Said,
recording?
yeah, we are very good recording like that. You have to cut it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have paused.
My brother. We'll talk to you soon on Sunday.
Or maybe before. Maybe before.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. You're gonna make
All
a
right.
good call. All right, my man.
Yeah, it
Good
was a
night,
fun call,
Anthony.
you guys.
Ciao,
Night.
ciao. Hey, be good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao. I have to know how to stop this thing. Jesus. It's always the same thing. Voilà. Huh?
Here, I'll end it for everyone.
Yeah.